Being kind doesn't mean you have to sacrifice yourself. Let's talk about how to give back to others without losing yourself or sacrificing your needs in the process. Welcome to my channel. My name is Oniara. I love to talk about personal development and I love to help others become a better version of themselves. If you like or relate to anything in this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Let's start by defining kindness versus self-sacrifice. Kindness is about being considerate and compassionate, while self-sacrifice involves neglecting your needs for the sake of others. So for the benefit of others. So for example, helping a friend in need is being kind, but saying yes to every favor, even at the expense of your mental health, that's self-sacrifice. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. How to not allow yourself to cross the line and be kind without neglecting your needs. So there's a very thin line between kindness and self-sacrifice. This is because we grew up in a society that made us believe that the way to be kind is to give everything of ourselves, to say yes to everything, to be completely available for someone. And this has programmed us in a way to feel that the only way to be kind is to be fully available for someone. And that is not being kind. That is crossing the line between kindness and self-sacrifice. And this is why it's so important to know where is that line for you and how to identify when you're crossing the line so you don't allow yourself to cross the line and lose yourself within the process of helping someone else. So let's first talk about some signs that you're crossing the line. Number 1, feeling resentment after doing something for others. This is a sign that you've crossed the line, that you have said yes to something that really inside you wanted to say no to, but didn't allow yourself to say no because of whatever reason you're telling yourself. This is the moment where you think that being kind is absolutely necessary before honoring your own needs, which leads us to the second sign. The second sign that you've crossed the line is constantly putting others' happiness above your own well-being, which is why this resentment gets created, because you didn't honor yourself and now you're resenting the person because of your own decisions. And this is something that I said in my other videos before as well. Yes, setting the boundary, saying no, sometimes it's very hard. And having to live with the fact that you said yes to something that you wanted to say no to is also going to be very challenging and difficult. And so you have to choose the hard that you are going to process in your life. And I always say, why not just choose the hard that's going to propel you to the next level of your potential to become a better you, to show up as a better you? Because when you say yes to something that you wanted to say no to, now you're going to do something with that energy of not wanting to do it, but doing it because you believe that you have to. And that's when you don't even show up your best, because you're feeling that resentment, because you're feeling pissed at yourself for not being honest with yourself, therefore not being able to be honest with the other person and not set the boundary that needed to be set for you to continue moving forward. And again, yes, it is going to be uncomfortable to set the boundary. It is going to be difficult to have to say no sometimes. And so is it going to be as difficult and hard to have to live with the decision of doing something that was not in alignment with you. And this is why there's a very thin line between kindness and self-sacrifice. And that's where you want to know, where is that line for you? And for example, let's say that you have someone in your life that every time you have plans and they ask for help or they need your help, you automatically cancel your plans and you go for their help. You go to help them. If there's someone like this in your life, this is a relationship that you need to reassess and learn to set boundaries in. Set boundaries. Practice saying no when something doesn't align with your values or capacity. And I say capacity because I used to be this person. Like, even if it aligned with my values, if it was someone that I wanted to hang out with, if it was something that I wanted to do, I will overcommit myself to something and then I will have to go and cancel because now I was overcommitted and I was over capacity in what I can handle that day. So having the courage to honor yourself and to be honest with yourself and therefore be honest with someone else is honestly going to give you so much confidence in your life, because you'll start learning that who understands is meant to stay and who doesn't is meant to leave, and they're just not meant to be there, and they're not in alignment. Because the people that are not willing to respect your boundaries, they're not really meant to be in your life because they're not willing to respect you. And that usually comes with the fact that they don't respect themselves. And therefore, they can't respect your own boundaries. They don't allow themselves to set boundaries. Therefore, they can accept that you set boundaries yourself for your life. So, set boundaries. Learn to set boundaries. I can tell you that setting boundaries for me has gotten more comfortable, but it's still very challenging and it's still very hard. And so just start now, because it is something that you're going to need to learn, whether you already have kids or not, something that you need to teach your kids as well. We need to learn to set boundaries because our own family would take advantage of the time that they think that we have available to them, right? Or the favors that they ask for because they're family and because we were never taught to set boundaries. Especially if you come from like a Hispanic household. Like in a Hispanic household, like I feel like you're just expected to be there and to show up whenever is needed. And yes, again, kindness, we're there when someone's in need. And we also need to learn when to draw the line and when to know like this person's always in need. I can't just drop everything, and we all have to kind of learn to figure it out, right? Because we all have needs, we all have problems, we all have challenges. And that's just a part of life. Tip number 2 on how to be kind without losing yourself is to prioritize self-care. Because like I mentioned, you can pour from an empty cup, which is what I was saying about the capacity, knowing your capacity. Take care of yourself. Know the times that you need to dedicate to yourself to recharge, to rest, to have time alone. That is so needed. I just uploaded a video on this, on how solitude is so important in our lives to be able to reconnect to ourselves and recharge. And for example, it's okay to tell someone, hey, I'm not available this week. Let's reschedule for next week. Are you available? And again, that's something that I've also had to be practiced in my own life. So what I've been doing is that I've been allowing myself to not give an explanation and just do the thing, like just ask for what I want. Like, so even this week I've had to practice this already twice, where an event is coming up that I said yes to, and at the like when I'm approaching it like the day before, I'm just not feeling like I want to do that, or like that's going to be in alignment with me. And I don't want to give too much explanation to these people, and I also don't want to say, hey, I don't really want to see you tomorrow. Like, I don't really have the energy to see you tomorrow, because it's not like I don't want to be their friend. It's just more like I don't have the energy to see you tomorrow. And that feels like it could be a little bit harsh. So what I started allowing myself to do was not give so much explanation and just say, I'm going to have to rain check. Are you available next week, or are you available in 2 weeks? Let me know. Sorry for last minute changes. That's it. No explanation. I don't really have to explain why I'm changing the thing. If you can understand, you can understand. If you can't, you can't. And I trust that it will all be as it's meant to be. So those are my tips to you. Set boundaries, prioritize yourself, and remember that everything is hard and you're really just choosing the hard that you're going to live through. So remember to honor yourself, honor your needs, and remember that if you say yes to something that you want to say no to, really assess, like, are you saying no because of fear, like a fear of like growth, of being out of your comfort zone, or are you saying no because you believe that you have to say yes, or that you can't say no? Or are you saying no because you believe that you can't say no because you will lose something if you said no? And these are the things that you want to ask yourself and start setting the boundaries, because as I mentioned, the people that are meant to stay in your life, they're going to respect the boundaries for yourself. They're going to respect the fact that you respect yourself enough to set boundaries. So remember, true kindness starts with yourself. When you respect your own needs, your kindness to others becomes even more genuine and impactful. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions or any topics that you'd like me to speak about specifically, please comment them down below. Subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you next time.